Hello, and thank you for tuning in. If you like scary movies, trailers, and reviews, or you're like us and you like making predictions about what's going to happen at the end of a horror movie, then subscribe to the Gutted Horror Podcast.
It would really mean a lot to us if you took a second to scroll down, hit that subscribe button, follow us across social media so you don't miss us spill our guts about horror films.
How do you gut someone?
Always trust my gut.
Hello, and welcome to Gutted. I'm Aleece.
And I'm Tony, and we're here to spill our guts about horror film trailers. And welcome to the pre-guts of October 2025.
Today's episode is just going over one release date.
That's how many horror movies are coming out in October.
They're all coming out October 3rd.
Mark your calendars for that date because, man,
there are at least 5 movies that you have to go see on October 3rd. So clear your schedules. Do nothing.
That's a great way to start spooky season.
Before we get to October, Tony, how's your September been going?
September has been quite busy. I feel like the last 2 months have been quite busy for us. And we're just rolling with the punches, trying to get out as many episodes for you all.
I mean, I wouldn't call them punches. Punches makes it sound like bad things have been happening.
Honestly, I didn't have a better expression.
Oh, okay.
My vocabulary or my inventory of idioms and expression are limited and often wrongly used or incorrectly used.
No, you often combine two, which I love.
Yeah, so don't lick a gift horse and the bird in the bushes. Or
don't
something like
lick
that.
A gift horse?
I don't know. It's, it's neither here nor over there.
Yep, not over there. But yeah, it has been pretty busy for us. We did our slasher market in Vegas, which was cool. This coming weekend, I don't know, this episode will get out before then, but if it happens to, at the time of this recording, this coming weekend, we have a Guess the Ending live event. We will be infiltrating like a paint and sip kind of place where people are painting, minding their own business. And then boom, we come in and we bother them with a horror movie that they probably haven't seen. And we make them watch it or listen to it at least. And maybe someone will try to guess the ending.
So for those of you who have listened to previous episodes and know the Guess the Ending format, we are trying to develop this into more of like a watch-along party.
But like a live watch-along
live
party.
Event. So think of like
in person.
If you live in the Southern California area, look for more events, hopefully coming to a town or a venue near you.
Could be fun. Who knows? Whatever.
Other news, we finally got some more merch. Actually, I should say we finally got t-shirt merch. And Aleece and I are both wearing Gutted t-shirts. I'm wearing the one color black logo and Aleece is wearing the color logo tank top. So if you're watching on YouTube, you can check out our t-shirts. If you're interested in buying a t-shirt, then
DM us.
Yeah, then
Message
contact us on Instagram and we will figure out how to get you a t-shirt. So that's sort of the update with us. We do have a very busy October coming up.
Which is why we're doing these pre-guts, because we wanted to actually do a Guess the Ending episode today. We planned on doing it yesterday and we got really tired and didn't do it.
But we are going to try our best to make sure that we get these episodes out for you every week. And you can make comments. You can share it with your friends that you know.
Tell some friends about Gutted Horror Podcast.
Exactly. All right. Let's get into this month's part 1 of our spooky prep for October.
All right. So the first movie that we want to talk about that's coming out on October 3rd is the highly anticipated Good Boy. This is the first feature-length film from director and co-writer Ben Leonberg, and in the titular role of Good Boy, it is starring Indy in his first feature as well, and Larry Fessenden co-stars.
Larry Fessenden. I already have some predictions based on this one. All right, let's preview that trailer for Good Boy.
guess I'm next. I should never have come here.
That was the trailer for Good Boy. Aleece, what's going on in that trailer?
We see some like old video camera camcorder footage of a good boy, a little golden shepherd dog, sheep shepherd
Some
dog,
sort of dog,
cattle
yeah.
dog. It's an adorable dog. It's like a normal shaped dog.
What does that mean? Normal shaped dog?
You know, like when you used to draw pictures of dogs as a kid, like you had like the
Yeah, I'd
basic,
always draw like a little chihuahua or something.
I would always draw like a normal shaped dog.
Or I'd draw a chow chow. So those are normal shapes to me.
Okay, so to me, a normal shaped dog is like those like Australian cattle herder dogs.
Wow, you're such a dog breedist.
I've only had one dog in my life. It was a Dalmatian.
So normal to you. So maybe the shape of a Shih Tzu is normal to me. Okay.
You never had a Shih Tzu though.
Well,
I could see a Chow having a normal shape.
I
to
did
you,
have a
'cause you
Chow.
had a
That was my family
so
dog. growing
my
up. I love
one
Chows.
family dog was a Dalmatian. I will say that. I
That
think
sounds like a normal dog.
that's a normal shaped
According
dog.
to Disney.
Exactly, a normal shaped dog.
Yeah, I still say that is breedist. But
It is.
anyways, this is a
Obviously, I haven't had many dogs in my life. Okay. So this like golden shepherd cattle dog named Good Boy. Real
I
name
think the
Indy.
dog actor's name is Indy.
The dog actor, the real name of the dog is Indy. Indy plays Good Boy. So Good Boy, we see Good Boy when he's like a little baby dog. He's like walking around, prancing, having a great old time. And it's like old camcorder footage. And we're like, oh, look how cute little puppy. And then little Good Boy grows up. And then it's like, oh, something bad's going to happen. And Good Boy, I think, is alone. Good Boy is like walking around downstairs and we see dirty footprints on the ground. And Good Boy's like, what's going on? And then we see Good Boy's watching the TV. And I think Larry Fessenden's on the TV. He's like, I'm next. And Good Boy's like, oh no, what does that mean? There's some sort of like outbreak going on. And like Good Boy's all by himself. Like there's nobody around Good Boy to help him, but Good Boy is terrified. And Good Boy goes under the bed and Good Boy is like hiding. And there's like a little quote that says, one of the most emotive actors of our generation, regardless of species.
Yeah.
Talking about Good Boy.
This is going to be a tearjerker for sure.
I like have seen this trailer twice and it gives me the chills every time because there's a scene where Good Boy screams. I'm like, oh no, what are they doing to Good Boy? Anyway.
Is this one of those movies that people are going to be hesitant to watch because they're not sure if it's going to end up on that website? Does the dog die?
Yeah, they're going to need trigger warnings for this movie.
I personally have a feeling that the dog is not going to die.
The
I do
dog
not
can't
think
die in
that
Good
Boy
Boy.
is going to die.
No, if you have a movie called Good Boy about a good boy, you cannot let that dog die.
Yeah.
People are going to be so upset. And one of the quotes did say one of the best horror films or films of the year so far. I don't know why they had to add that qualifier so far.
I would like to add before you finish that thought that every horror film proclaims to be the best of the year. So that quote doesn't really mean much
Means
to me.
nothing to you. Well, I feel like if Good Boy died, then that person would not have said that quote because this feels like it has to have a more feel-good ending for Good Boy.
Like if they said this is one of the most fucked up horror movies you're ever going to watch, then it's like, yeah, Good Boy.
No one's going to see
tortured and dies.
No one's going to see Good
No
Boy.
one's going to watch that.
If it's like extreme horror and it's starring a dog, no one's going to want to see that.
That sounds awful. Yeah.
Awful.
Yeah. My predictions for this movie are that there is some sort of undead zombie-like situation going on because
Yes.
Larry Fessenden is chained up and
coughing.
He looked undead. He looks like something about him looked like he was maybe undead. So I'm going to guess that there is a virus of some sort.
I think so too. And plus it seemed like he was filming his confessional, like his last message, like
Yeah.
I'm about to turn.
Yeah. And then we're going to get the story from the perspective of Good Boy. So it's going to be like, dogs are man's best friend and dogs will stand by people no matter what they do, no matter how much of an asshole they are. Dogs will always love people. But is this a situation where where Good Boy is going to stand by you if you're a zombie trying to eat him?
No.
Or is it going to be the story of Good Boy just trying to survive and trying to make it on his own and detach himself from his owner, who he probably really loves, but is conflicted because it's like, why is my owner dead or like trying to get me?
It's kind of like when you have a movie starring a child and the child is like the driving protagonist of the film. I feel like it's on that level, but taking it a step further, because what's more adorable than a child? A good boy.
So what do you think as far as like, is this movie going to be scary, or is it going to be sort of one of those heartfelt horror or just like horrific situation from a unique perspective type movie?
I think the filmmakers are very clever in having it star this dog, because this dog is very cute. And I'm not saying that all dogs can't be cute, but there are certain kinds of dogs where I'm like,
Like Cujo.
I mean,
Cujo is cute, but when Cujo is vicious and rabid, it's not cute anymore. He's not cute anymore.
Yeah. And he was like, a big lumbering Saint Bernard. He was cute before he was bit by that rabid bat. But Good Boy is like a cute, small, but not too small little dog. So it's like he's small enough to be like vulnerable, whereas Cujo was like a big Saint Bernard. We wouldn't be as fearful for Cujo if he had not been bit by the bat. But Good Boy is smaller, big enough to like defend itself against several things, but not big enough to be totally not vulnerable.
Yeah. So expert dog casting by the
expert
filmmakers.
dog
Great
casting.
job. Yes.
But also like we're going to be terrified for Good Boy.
Right.
We are not necessarily terrified anymore for actual humans. And
Like Larry.
Like we are not going to be scared for Larry. And most adult actors, like we're not scared for them anymore. And I think that's just the way we are as people. We consume so many movies and horror movies and shows that it's really hard to get an audience member entrenched and feeling for that character. I'm not saying it can't be done. I feel for a lot of characters, but a surefire way to get a wider audience really fearful for the main character is making it a dog.
Right.
I feel like 98% of people, even if you don't have a dog, even if you feel like you're a cat person like me, you're still gonna be fearful for that dog.
I mean, just animals in general, because they're
so
characters that
vulnerable.
they're vulnerable, and if it's like from the point of view of this dog, then it's just a unique way of telling a story that we've seen several times. So it looks very interesting. I'm excited for this.
And looking at the poster's so good. I feel like this is one of the best posters I've seen of the year. Not just because it's a cute dog, but it's a cute dog with an ominous shadow and several hands reaching out, shadowy hands reaching out for this dog.
Yeah.
And the dog is surrounded by a pale blue and then those creepy shadow hands.
So this definitely supports the zombie or ghoul or vampire villain that this Good Boy is going to have to navigate. And the tagline says, trust his instincts. So I'm really excited. I also love this poster. What sort of merch are you going to get?
Oh man, this is such a good poster. I don't know.
You could always just get a poster. We don't do that as much these days, but hey.
I want a t-shirt. I want a t-shirt of Good Boy because it's so cute and it's so like ominous looking. Maybe I'll get a poster. Who knows? I'll get a back scratcher.
I'm going to get a t-shirt, but it's going to be a pet size t-shirt that says Good Boy, and I'm going to put it on Potato, our cat. Yeah.
Yeah. Very ironic.
Yeah. I love that idea.
She would love it. Oh, okay. And little tidbit. I was looking at Indy, the dog. I was looking at his IMDb and I was like, wait a minute. Indy has another IMDb credit. And it turns out that in 2011, Indy directed, co-wrote, and starred in a music video called Indy KMBL. And I was like, what? In 2011, this dog is
this dog is
14 years old or something. But I was like, wow, this dog is old. I didn't think this dog was that old. Turns out, no. IMDb has messed up because Indy, who co-directed, co-starred, and co-wrote KMBL,
why are you saying KMBL?
Because Indy is a rapper from the Czech Republic.
Oh, okay. So IMDb messed up there.
Yeah.
I like that. Indy, you're a dog of many talents, and the fact that you have co-directed, co-wrote, and starred in your own music video and that you're also a Czech rapper.
Well, I'm just saying.
Man, you are multi-talented.
I don't want the dog Indy to take the credit for this Czech rapper's accomplishments.
I do want Indy to take credit for that because this dog is multi-talented.
Fine. Sorry. Apologies to Czech rapper Andreas Christodoulou.
I don't think that there should be any apologies. This rapper should be honored that they share an IMDb page with Indy, the dog actor.
I did look up the music video. It's pretty catchy. So put that in our show notes.
Yeah, you can check that out.
All right.
All right. So that was Good Boy, which premiered at Beyond Fest earlier this year and is set to have a wide theatrical U.S. release date of October 3rd, 2025.
Next up, we have Bone Lake, directed by Mercedes Bryce Morgan, who did Spoonful of Sugar, which I watched recently, and it's very good. And starring Maddie Hassan, who was in We Summon the Darkness, as well as Malignant.
Ooh, all right. Let's preview that trailer.
It seems like someone wanted all of us here.
Love is kind of like a game of chess. Want to know what happens if you lose?
That was Bone Lake. Tony, what happened in that trailer?
All right. So this is one of those classic cases of two separate couples booking the same Airbnb. Of course, it's this giant mansion secluded on a lake, Bone Lake. And now it's turned into a swingers gone bad kind of situation that happens to involve knives, chainsaws, and all kinds of other stuff. So yeah, you have these two couples and they show up to the same house and they're like, well, I guess we might as well make the most of it. So let's all hang out as a quadruple.
Yeah.
So they're out there in the lake and they're doing all the things that you would do in a secluded Airbnb. But there's something sinister happening. Is there another person who has coordinated this whole thing? Is it a coincidence? Most likely not. But we did get scenes of like cars at the bottom of the lake.
Several.
And someone who looked like they were either undead or a ghost of some sort. Heavy emphasis on playing games or chess. And the tagline actually said, love is a game and winners come first. Winners come first.
And like then, a double entendre way.
Yeah, even the title of the film, Bone Lake, has this sort of double entendre where it's like, in the trailer, they were talking about, I thought it was a euphemism for a house where people come to bone, basically. Yeah. So it looks like it could be one of those murder mystery kind of figuring out like what is the situation that these couples are placed in and how are they going to get out of it? Or does one couple survive? Who knows what's going to happen?
And it's like, who set this up? Was it the anonymous Airbnb host or was it the couple that got there first?
Yeah. Aleece, what do you think is going to happen in this?
I think that,
I think that, what he said, double.
Well, he said double. More couples are going to come. At least 2 more couples are going to come.
Oh, so you think it's going to turn from 4 to 8?
I didn't think of that until you said what he said, double. And I thought maybe so. Maybe it is going to double up because it looked like one of the people that was like bloody on the floor. I don't think she was part of the 4 people we saw in the beginning.
Like a survival of the fittest couple style where a couple just happens to show up at this Airbnb that they booked and there's like no limit. They're just booking people willy-nilly and anyone can book. And once you get there, there's a bunch of weapons and there's this games with instructions.
It's like a swingers Hunger Games.
Yeah. Oh, I like that. Okay. Yeah. This is going to be a swingers Hunger Games. Hopefully we'll get a little cameo from little Billy, the saw puppet.
Oh, Billy the puppet.
Yeah, Billy the puppet is going to come out and say,
I want to play a game.
Couples edition.
Couples game.
Pop the balloon, just like that YouTube video. Unless there's a big twist here, the trailer is giving away a lot of what
I don't trust that blonde lady.
Yeah, the real thing here is going to be like, who did it? Who set it up?
I feel like the blonde girl, Maddie Hassan, I think she seems like she's supposed to be the identifying character that we identify with, our main protagonist. But I kind of feel like she's got a dark past that she doesn't want to reveal. And I feel like she has perhaps orchestrated this.
She's been there before. Maybe she's covering up something and she's trying to pin the murder on somebody else.
Or she's just like, she just doesn't like couples. She's like, doom all couples.
What's that one horror movie where it's called like Superhost? Is it going to be sort of like that?
Oh,
or is it going to be like Influencer where someone's trying to like steal someone else's life? Yeah.
I don't know.
So I'm not sure. But if we look at the poster, this is a really cool poster, I have to say. So it says Bone Lake and there is a woman who is bursting out of the lake for a photo shoot.
She just feels so reinvigorated by this lake. But little does she know what lies beneath.
Yeah. But also she's being pulled down. So it's like she's moaning in ecstasy, but then she's also like being pulled under.
Oh, she's screaming.
Where there's all of these sort of skulls.
So is she moaning or screaming?
It doesn't look like a scream in the poster. It looks more like a moan.
Like a Yahoo?
What do you mean a Yahoo?
Like Yahoo.
I don't know, like a moan of ecstasy, like boning on a lake. That's what it looks like. Literally
like
boning
a bone
on a lake.
moan.
Yeah, and it says you better have a safe word. So, is it going to be like 50 Shades of Grey meets Influencer meets I don't know,
Saw.
Hunger Games
meets
Saw. It could be a lot of things. But yeah, this poster is super cool.
Yeah, I honestly probably would not have thought much of the trailer if I didn't know that the director also directed Spoonful of Sugar. The main character is this acid tripping babysitter. And
I have not seen it.
And like, that's the main plot line. It's like, she is an acid tripping babysitter. She self-medicates with acid. She microdoses and then goes watches a kid.
Okay, so we might have some interesting character, development, character backstories. Let's hope so, because I have heard about this one. I am excited for this. It seems like there's something more than what we saw from the trailer, because the trailer looks a little bit straightforward.
And it does seem very typical. So I have high hopes because of the director. That's basically it. So
yeah,
I'm
and
intrigued.
really this poster. The
poster's great.
What merch are you going to get?
I want a skull.
A skull.
I want a red skull. You know what I want? I want like a blood globe full of little tiny skulls.
Ooh, okay, yeah. Ooh, one of those what are those things that you like flip and then the liquid like falls down? Those toys that I used to have when I was a kid where you like flip it and then there's like oil, like colored oil, and it kind of starts hitting all the little bells.
Yeah, like a cheap lava lamp.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That was Bone Lake, which will have a wide US theatrical release on, you guessed it, October 3rd.
It's a busy day.
Busy day.
Next up, we have Coyotes, directed by Colin Minihan, the director of It Stains the Sands Red and What Keeps You Alive. He's one half of the Vicious Brothers, who, along with Stuart Ortiz, have directed Grave Encounters. Coyotes is starring Kate Bosworth and Justin Long, who are married and just met on the set in 2022's House of Darkness.
I watched House of Darkness. I was like, oh.
And Justin Long being in this movie makes me think, is this the year that Justin Long survives all the horror movies? And that's like the big plot twist on just horror fans in general.
He doesn't die. Yeah.
Because he might not have died in the last movie he was in. All right, let's check out the trailer for Coyotes.
Everybody in? Everybody okay? It's just okay! This is definitely a bad idea. They want your shelter, your food, your water, your sanity. I just want to say, we're all going to live happily ever after. I hope those aren't my last words. You don't want to shoot the neighbor! Get the fuck away! Go! Get the fuck off my husband!
It's like in that movie. You know the one where all the birds attack everyone?
The birds.
No, that's not the one.
All right, that was the trailer for Coyotes. Aleece, what's going on in that trailer?
Okay, so we open in the Hollywood Hills, expensive homes, fancy lady walking her tiny dog in high heels in the middle of the night on her phone taking selfies. And then boom, tiny dog gets eaten. And then hot lady gets run over by a car. Yeah, it is definitely a horror comedy starring Kate Bosworth and Justin Long. And everybody dies, I'm thinking, except for Kate Bosworth and Justin Long and their kid.
It looks like one of those unhinged creature feature horror comedy.
Unhinged, like in the vein of Cocaine Bear.
Exactly, yeah.
Definitely. And it seemed like the trailer kind of spoiled a lot. It seems like most of the supporting characters are going to die in horrible ways. Like someone gets lit on fire, someone gets chomped, someone gets their Achilles bitten out and their fingers ripped off. And
an entire house blows up.
House blows up. And I'm thinking one of the final scenes will probably be that scene where they're in the van and Justin Long's driving. He's like, is everybody okay? And they're like, just go. It's probably like one of those like poltergeist moments where the house gets like enveloped and, you know, like sucked up, and then they just have to like drive off into the away from the mayhem.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't think it's a bad thing that the trailer gives so much away, because I feel like what is there to say about this creature feature, this horror comedy with coyotes? They're all going to die. Enough said. And let's look at the poster.
Yeah, I didn't make a prediction though.
I know, but look at the poster.
Oh, okay. So we're waiting to look at the poster. Ooh, okay. The poster says eat the rich.
Exactly.
Okay. So coyotes are sort of like a creature that are scavengers who have had their land taken a lot of times by areas that are in the hills. So those are like more well-to-do areas. The coyotes area is being taken over by humans. So maybe this is like a revenge plot, creature feature.
Yeah, because like if you think about it, like when you hear the hills, there are always fancy homes in the hills of any city or place that you can think of. It's like you never have the poor homes in the hills. It's always the fancy rich homes.
Right.
And those are the homes that are amongst nature and taking over the nature land.
Yeah, so I definitely see some themes going on here. I see themes of like the sort of people who are civilized versus the coyotes who are sort of like animalistic and maybe feral. So so I see like a class issue being brought up.
And I'm going to guess that Justin Long and Kate Bosworth's, their family, perhaps they're new money. Perhaps they just recently inherited like this windfall of money, or Justin Long's character is a writer and he finally wrote like an award-winning script and they got jettisoned to success and they just purchased their first fancy home in the hills. And that's why as an audience member, we're going to root for them because they're new money.
Okay.
Whereas everybody else in the hills that's going to die, they're older money and they're
so
more
if
jaded.
you are newly rich, you get a pass.
You get a pass.
If
as
you've
long
been
as you're
rich for more than 6 months, you do not get a pass.
You do not get a pass. But if you are newly rich and your house blows up, then you're fine.
As we know, like I mentioned it before, Justin Long, he usually dies in horror movies. If you've seen any movie with him in it, he's always the person who suffers a terrible fate. But recently, he is maybe surviving in horror movies. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
I'm going to guess he's going to survive. I mean, I feel like this is a cute couple movie with a real life couple playing a couple. Like, you can't have them die. It's no fun. That's no fun in a horror comedy. So I'm going to guess they're going to live.
I'm also wondering if there's going to be an element of this plot where somebody in the neighborhood does something specifically to a coyote, maybe like hits a coyote with a car. And the other coyotes in the neighborhood, they see it and they're like, ooh, people are bad.
Like, they killed Tommy.
Yeah.
We're going to get them.
Let's get him. Or maybe it's a Cujo thing where they're just out there eating bats and then all of a sudden they all are rabid and now they want to kill everybody. There was also a mention in the trailer, the idea of the birds. So Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds, which it was like a funny moment because the lady in the car like couldn't think of what the movie was called. She's like, you know that movie with all the birds?
He's like, The Birds.
The
She's
Birds.
Like,
She's like, no, not that one.
That's not it.
Something else.
Maybe it's Birdemic.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe it was Birdemic. Based off of the CGI of the coyotes, I think maybe it was Birdemic.
Yeah, just going back to the birds, one bird is innocuous, but many is creepy. So it's like one coyote, it's like, oh, it's a good boy. But many coyotes, ugh,
Yeah.
scary.
So a lot of four-legged creature horror coming out this October.
Good or
Looking
bad?
Very promising. Well, that was Coyotes, which premiered at London Fright Fest in 2024 and is now set to have a wide U.S. theatrical release on, you guessed it,
October 3rd.
October 3rd, yes.
Next, we have Scared Shitless, directed by Viviano Caldinello, with his second featured-length film and starring Stephen Ogg, who we know as creepy Savior Simon from The Walking Dead, and Daniel Doheny, who is in the Day of the Dead TV series, which I did not know.
I did not know that existed.
I
so
didn't
I'm gonna
either,
have to
but
check
I
that
do
out.
like that Stephen Ogg and Daniel Doheny were both in zombie-type TV shows.
Love it. And Stephen Ogg has been in quite a few things recently. Wasn't he in that one Dark Match or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The wrestling horror movie.
Yeah. So he's been in a bunch recently, and he's been really good in all of the stuff that he's in. So yeah, I'm excited to see this. I think this is a horror comedy. Anyways, all right, let's check out the trailer for Scared Shitless.
And we saw something that was out of the ordinary, so we just want to make sure everything's okay.
Is that an animal?
Sounds big.
I created her, and I tried to destroy her. All of you doomed.
Somebody call a plumber?
That was Scared Shitless. Tony, what happened in that trailer?
I was gonna say that trailer looked like shit. No, just
Aw.
kidding. That's my joke. Get it? Ha 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 ha.
Yeah.
Awful joke, I know. Thank
Yeah.
you for not laughing.
Thank you for not laughing.
Thank you for laughing.
Dennis Hopper laughed.
Scared Shitless. It looks like we have a gross out horror comedy that's been in a shitload, no pun intended, of
Pun intended.
festivals. There was like 40 different festivals that I
Yeah.
saw in the trailer. We have this creature that is maybe something that was created in a lab that is a toilet monster of some sort. It looks like an intestine, kind of looks like one of those face grabbers from Alien in a way, and maybe a little bit like a Slither.
Definitely Slither. You know what? Okay, it reminds me of the mouth of the Predator.
Yeah, it totally has that sort of predator mouth,
Like
with
four-
the orifice.
4 canines coming in.
Yeah.
and out. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that's a pretty standard monster creature mouth these days. It's the predator mouth for sure.
Yeah.
But it is this long intestine or like poop kind of monster. Maybe it looks more like intestines than poop, like a large intestine or something.
Yeah.
And you have this father and son plumber duo, and the son is a germaphobe, and he is also apprenticing with his dad as a plumber, and they encounter this monster where now they become these sort of like people who are going to save the day. We see them at one point in the trailer with this sort of like pink substance that I'm guessing is the anti-poop monster spray.
It's cleaner.
The cleaner, yeah.
It's like that really heavy duty cleaner.
There's also scenes of like people on the toilet and people having plumbing problems and a bunch of gross stuff spewing out of the monster and out of the toilet. So, all kinds of great things are probably going to happen in this movie.
Okay, you know what it reminds me of? There's a movie that came out on Shudder, I think earlier this year, called Hellhole. And that is about a poop monster or like intestinal butt monster.
I think intestinal slithering monster type creatures are quite popular in horror. Without getting into the whole Japanese animation, whatever you call that, the
Hentai.
I don't know. It's probably a subgenre of hentai where there's all of the tentacle creatures or whatever. It's definitely in that vein.
Okay, this reminds me of my childhood worst fear. After I saw Look Who's Talking, and the little boy, Mikey or something, he's a toddler and he's being potty trained and he goes to the bathroom, but there's a toilet monster that's going to eat his tissue. And that really did scare me as a kid. I was afraid to go to the bathroom because I just thought there could be a toilet monster ready to get my butt.
Yeah. People's biggest fear, because you are super vulnerable when you're sitting on the toilet.
Yeah.
People have been fearful of alligators attacking them in the toilet.
Yeah.
Ghoulies, critters, all kinds of stuff.
Everything will get you in the end. And now we have these toilet monsters and Scared Shitless.
Yeah. Do you think that our duo are going to survive?
Oh,
and
yeah.
save
It's
the day?
father-son duo. The son for sure will survive. If the dad dies, I think he'll die towards the end in like a sacrificial kind of way. And he'll be like, take my plunger and live on and carry on our legacy.
I'm hoping that we get a scene of somebody getting like sucked into the toilet by the monster.
We will definitely get that scene.
Yeah. So sort of like the movie Street Trash, like one of those scenes where it's like someone's dying by
toilet monster.
Yeah.
You will definitely get a street trash moment. I feel like I'm going to enjoy certain scenes where it looks like characters have the toilet monster stuck to their face and they're like, ooh.
And they're just spitting out poop.
No, I like scenes where someone obviously has like a practical effect attached to their face and they have to like wield it and make it move but act really panicked. I like it like when people have a cat thrown on them, but it's obviously a fake cat and they're like, oh. It's funny to me.
I think there's a high probability we're going to get a scene like that in this movie. Let's check out the poster for Scared Shitless.
All right. We have a toilet and the lid is up, which is a big no-no. You always close the lid. But this
you always close the lid?
You always close the lid.
I feel like most dudes do not close the lid nor put the seat down.
Here's why you should put it down. And the lid, because poop spray can travel, so I heard, out of the toilet once you flush.
I heard. I never did it myself.
So
however,
so I've heard, according to the internet or science.
So this is what you're searching.
This is internet science. If you leave the lid open when you flush a toilet, your poop spray can travel like 3 feet and go onto your toothbrush. This is why I always close the toilet lid before I flush, and I put my toothbrush in a drawer.
This is why I shouldn't leave my toothbrush on the toilet seat.
This is why you should not rinse your toothbrush in the toilet.
Tons of great lessons learned there. Thank you for that lesson in hygiene. In the poster, we have the 3 tentacle intestine monsters. They look like they have a sharp end, like a nail that can maybe slash somebody. Those probably open up to that predator mouth that you're talking about.
Yeah.
And they probably, I'm guessing they most likely have poo inside of these monsters.
Do you think poo's in the monsters?
Well, it looks like a large intestine. So, and they're in a toilet. So I think that's a pretty reasonable assumption.
So these little monsters are eating poop.
Ooh, okay. Actually, a quick prediction. I'm going to guess that the science lab the science lab that is involved in the creation of these monsters was trying to develop some sort of digestive or gut health medicine or a way to like, I don't know.
Like a laxative?
Yeah. And then they accidentally mutated some.
They're like, this is no good. Flushed it down the toilet and it grew.
Actually, yeah, that's a great one. I was gonna say they're like experimenting with like a tissue sample and then it mutates and like grows into this.
Oh, I got it. So it's like a laxative that's supposed to like you eat it and it's supposed to eat your, I don't know, your bolus or whatever, your poo ball inside you. So that way, like you don't actually poo. It just eats your poo inside your intestines, inside your colon.
Yeah.
But then the scientist was like, this is no good. So they flushed it down the toilet. And because the poo monster did what it was supposed to do, it feeds off poo. It got bigger and bigger.
Ooh, okay.
And that's why it's like taking over the plumbing of this whole city and coming out of people's toilets and like trying to get more poo.
That's a great prediction. And also very irresponsible of the scientists to do that.
Yeah. You don't flush your projects down the toilet. You dispose of them.
The tagline on the poster says, "Don't forget to flush." So did the scientists forget to flush or? Yeah, I don't know.
Well, maybe they're just trying to be cute. It could be a quote that means nothing.
Okay, what kind of merch are you getting for this poster?
A skirt.
Like one of those toilet seat covers?
Ew.
A skirt? Like a skirt that you're going to wear?
Yeah, a skirt made out of these tentacles.
It is a cool design for the poster. It definitely looks like in the vein of an 80s horror movie. I'm thinking of something like Basket Case or something
definitely like a Basket Case Ghoulies kind of movie.
Yeah, for sure. This would make a great sticker. I'm just going to keep it simple. I'm going to keep it classy.
I think a sticker's cute. Yeah, that'd be cute.
I'm going to put it on my
toilet.
Toilet, yeah. My toilet is covered in stickers, by the way.
Yeah.
Judge me not.
But only when you open the lid. So when you open the lid,
This is getting
you
worse.
see this sticker that says scared shitless, and then no one's going to want to go to the bathroom.
So it's like underneath the lid. It's on the underside of the lid.
Underside.
All of my stickers.
So when your guests come over into your guest bathroom and they open up the lid and you see this sticker that says scared shitless and it has like these tentacles and bloody hands, you're like, ooh, I don't want to go here anymore.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
Yeah.
So anyways, if I'm getting merch, if I'm out at like a...
Toilet paper. Novelty toilet paper.
Novelty toilet paper. All right, that sounds great. I love me some novelty toilet paper. That got us through COVID.
It did. Thank you, Kathy. She sent us a novelty COVID roll of toilet paper. And then little did she know that we actually could not buy real toilet paper. So we had to use it. So.
Perfect. The perfect gift. I love it. That was Scared Shitless, which premiered at Fantasia Film Festival in 2024 and will have a limited US theatrical release on, you guessed it, October 3rd. 2025.
So limited, get out there, people, and try to see it. And finally, we have Shell, directed by Max Minghella with his second feature. Max, I don't know if you remember, played young Detective Shank in Spiral.
I do not remember.
He was Chris Rock's partner in Spiral.
I remember that there was a partner, but I can't place the face or the name.
He's the young guy partner. He was like the rookie. Anyway, so he has directed 2 movies, and this is one of them. Shell is written by Jack Stanley, who did The Passenger, starring Kyle Gallner. Looks pretty good. And starring Elizabeth Moss, who was in Us and 2020's The Invisible Man, and Kate Hudson, who we know from The Skeleton Key.
All right, let's preview that trailer.
You have a chance to achieve full potential. That's hot. The incomparable Samantha Lake. I watched every episode of your show. I wanted to meet you. Bon appetit.
This is delicious. What is it?
It's me. No. What's that?
What's what?
On your neck. I think something's really wrong.
There's something she's not telling me.
What is going on? Can I tell you a secret? I think you think I would hurt my stuff? What?
I think people disappeared.
I'm scared you're gonna do something to me.
You're totally freaking out.
How you look determines who survives. There's only so much room at the top of the food chain.
Oh, give it a rest, Zoe.
But the optics.
All right, that was Shell. Aleece, what's going on in that trailer?
Okay, so Elizabeth Moss plays a struggling actress, and she cannot get roles because she's competing with women who are much younger than her. And we see her crying in a bathtub. Her agents are like, have you considered changing the way you look? And Elizabeth Moss is like, oh man, dang it. Hollywood's getting at women again. So we have a tone that seems similar to last year's The Substance, but I hate saying things are like the same as something else. It has a similar tone, yes, but it does look like it is going in a much different direction than The Substance.
Right. It actually seems a little bit like more of a Black Mirror type story. Maybe there's a sci-fi element to it.
I agree. So Kate Hudson plays the person who's at the top. Perhaps Kate Hudson and Elizabeth Moss, they are the same age, but Kate Hudson is much more successful than Elizabeth Moss. And Kate Hudson has something to offer. She has some sort of product called the Shell, where if you take it, you'll be your best self inside and out.
That does sound like The Substance, but it also sounds like Death Becomes Her, which is also like The Substance.
It is. And so we have a scene where Elizabeth Moss is at Kate Hudson's dinner party and they're eating a meager meal of little strips of salmon colored something. And Elizabeth Moss is like, oh, this is great. What is this? And Kate Hudson's like, it's me. So we have a little bit of Fresh, where we have some cannibalism. cannibalism, but it's like cannibalism while the person is still alive. Kate is sacrificing little bits and pieces of her body, but she can still live.
She's just shaving off a little bit of like her toe meat.
A little bit here and there, kind of like Snowpiercer, you know, where you don't kill the whole person, you take one limb. So Kate's very giving. Anyway, eventually we see some sort of monster.
I didn't see a monster creature. Where was the monster creature?
After she said how you look depends on who lives, or who lives depends on how you look. And there was like some creature that was bursting through glass.
I must have blinked during that moment in the trailer because I don't remember a creature.
It was very quick. I feel like there was a creature for a second, which makes me feel like that Kate Hudson's character is like not who she used to be.
I have a feeling it's one of those things where you go through this treatment, the shell treatment, and then if you do not eat human flesh, then you turn into a monster. Because at one point in the trailer, Elizabeth Moss's character has like a mole that turns into this sort of like skin thing on her back. It's like
necrosis. Yeah, it's like dying flesh.
She's refusing to eat human flesh. I think it plays into those sort of beauty standards in Hollywood and sort of like the mysteries of how like celebrities and famous people and rich people kind of can maintain their bodies.
Eat the rich.
Eat the rich. Yeah. So
literally.
Another eat the rich. Yeah.
So in this one, the rich are eating the rich.
It's rich cannibalism.
You eat who you want to be.
Eat who you want to be, yeah.
You are who you eat, or you eat who you are to be.
It definitely looks like it is going to be in the same vein, at least marketing wise here in the trailer, as The Substance. But also I felt a little bit of a Black Mirror vibe as well. I hope that it steers in another direction, because I definitely don't want a story that is sort of derivative of that movie.
I'm going to guess that it's like The Substance meets Fresh meets Scared Shitless.
Scared Shitless?
Yeah.
Why do you got to throw that one in there?
Meets Coyotes. The metaphor of Coyotes with the creature of Scared Shitless with the concepts of The Substance leaning into Fresh.
So you think there's going to be poop monsters in this?
I mean, like a monster.
One of Aleece's wild predictions, there will be poop monsters in this movie.
Maybe. I mean,
Shell.
They're eating a bunch of flesh from people, so eventually you're going to like poop it out and it's going to be like a flesh monster.
Okay, my wild prediction is that the movie Shell is going to take place at a Shell gas station.
You know,
is that a good prediction?
That's not bad.
That's an awful prediction.
I'm going to predict that there is a Shell gas station at some point in the movie. And they're like, oh, look, it's the title.
And Shell also kind of sounds like a cool corporate name. So maybe it has something to do with that.
Yeah.
And looking at the poster, this also looks like a logo.
It looks very Cronenberg.
Definitely. And it is in the shape of like a snail shell. Snail shell. That's really hard to say.
Yeah.
Or like a conch.
Or like a cochlea.
Or a cochlea. So you're going more inner ear.
Inner ear.
Wow. You are such a person of your profession.
Thank you.
Cool. What merch are you going to get?
I'm gonna get some earrings.
Some earring. Ooh, that would make a really nice earring.
But I want it to be like an earring that covers my entire ear.
Ooh.
So it looks like an ear shell.
It's like one of those cyberpunk hacker earrings.
Yes.
So,
I want it to be an actual shell for my ear.
I'm just going to get this logo shaved into my bald head. So I'm going to like buzz it, like a 1 or a 2. And then I'm going to have them like cut a 0 in the shape of this shell. I think
that's not what I thought you were going to say.
That's the merch I'm going to get. I'm going with it. Anyone want to pay me to do this? I will not do it if you pay me. Actually, depends on how much you pay.
How much are you going to pay him to do this?
Ooh, yeah. Let's take some offers.
We're desperate.
It would be really funny if I showed up to work with this logo that's shaved into my bald head and all my coworkers are saying, why do you have that?
Also, you're fired.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Never mind. Deals off. Deals off. We're not doing this.
All right. That was Shell, which premiered at the Toronto International Film Festival last year and is set to have a limited U.S. theatrical release on October 8th. Just kidding. 3rd.
Stop trying to throw the people off.
I can't fool them.
That brings us to the end of part 1 of our spooky prep for October. But we do have a couple of movies that we wanted to shout out.
One shout out is for a movie called Scurry, an Australian indie directed by Luke Spark, who just did last month's Primitive War with dinosaurs in the Vietnam War.
Which, man, we unfortunately missed. I was really looking forward to that.
I was too, but it got so busy and I missed him. Sad.
We'll have to see it when it comes out on streaming.
Yeah, but we could not find the trailer for Scurry. I don't think there is a trailer yet, but it is supposed to be a single shot, real time horror movie that is compared to a cross between The Descent and A Quiet Place.
Wow. Maybe they're filming it right now because if it's just one shot, they can probably just, get it tomorrow.
Film it
That's why they don't have a trailer. They really need to get a trailer because October is right around the corner. We need a trailer to drop on this one.
Yes. I looked everywhere and I found a trailer for something called Scurry. And I was like, this is a kid's cartoon. And it turned out it's for a children's book. So I could not find the actual trailer for the movie Scurry.
So if anyone has found the trailer for this Australian indie called Scurry, let us know. Send us a link. Luke, if you're listening, can you drop a trailer?
Yeah. Can we see a screener? Cool.
We really want to see your movie.
Yeah.
And then we have another, actually, this one is a pretty big release that is coming out on October 3rd, which will be direct to streaming. It is VHS Halloween.
Creeping and crawling down your spine. That's that touch of mine. I won't tell no lie. Trick or treat.
The reason why we didn't include this in our trailer review is because just the nature of a
anthology film
exactly doesn't really lend itself to being reviewed or us making predictions about that sort of thing.
It does look cool though, and I will say that as far as all the VHS movies that have come out, this one makes me as excited as the first one.
Yeah, I love the VHS series. It's definitely something that I look forward to whenever they have a new one.
And this one reminds me of the movie WNUF Halloween Special.
Ooh, I like that,
which I really like. And so it does have that kind of like nostalgic VHS quality of like watching a bunch of TV commercials in the 90s around spooky season time.
Yeah, and we definitely need more Halloween themed movies that take place on Halloween or that are about Halloween. We love that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it gets you in the mood for Halloween.
Exactly, and it gives you something to put on your watch list for Halloween if you're having like a
Halloween party,
a marathon of some sort on Halloween. So yeah, looks great. Definitely going to check that out on Shudder when it is released on October 3rd.
We just watched trailers for Good Boy, Bone Lake, Coyotes, Scared Shitless, and Shell. And with Scurry and VHS Halloween in the mix, which two are you most likely to watch on October 3rd?
Okay, so before watching any of these trailers, I would say that the one that I was the most excited for and the one that I want to see on October 3rd would be Good Boy.
Yes.
Obviously, like that is one that I've heard about for several months, and I'm excited that it's now here. Some of these other ones were not really on my radar until we just watched the trailer. And of those, let's see, it's actually maybe a toss-up between VHS Halloween, which we did a shout out for. I'm curious about Bone Lake because I feel like there's more to it than just that trailer that we saw. So that would probably be my second/third pick. I picked 3. Sorry. I know I was only supposed to pick 2.
I mean, I was kind of do the same thing, but definitely Good Boy. I want to see that instantly. And then, in my second and third places, I have VHS Halloween as well, because I do love things that take place on or around Halloween. And especially if they have that nostalgic VHS quality, it's a bonus. But my second/third place is going to go to Coyotes. Ooh. Because it doesn't look like I'm going to have to try too hard to figure out what's going on. It's just a fun, laid back horror comedy. And I like Kate Bosworth and Justin Long. And I feel like Justin Long has some pretty good comedic timing.
Coyotes does look like it's going to be a really fun watch. Yeah. And you love Creature Features.
I do. And I loved Cocaine Bear. So I feel like I'll probably like Coyotes.
That was our part 1 of our October spooky prep for this year. We want to know, what horror movies are you excited for in the first half or the first week of October? Or one of the movies that we reviewed high on your list?
Were you almost ready to cry during the trailer of Good Boy?
How many of these movies are you going to see on October 3rd? Are you going to have a movie marathon?
Are you going to call in sick to work on October 3rd just so you can go watch as many of these as possible?
Is October 3rd a Friday?
October 3rd is like a Thursday, I
A
think.
Thursday. Wow. Okay. So yeah,
just
you're gonna have to call in sick to work.
Don't go
on
to
that day.
work. Say
Yeah.
that you were scared shitless.
So you have intestinal problems. That one always doesn't get any questioning.
I think it does. I don't think you can just say I have intestinal problems. My dad told me say that I have explosive diarrhea.
Well, that's what I was getting at without saying explosive diarrhea. But
I feel like that must have been like a go-to excuse in our parents' era, because my dad told me with a straight face that I need to say this. I'm like, I'm never going to say that to anybody.
I'm sure your dad is going to deny that to the death.
He's not watching this.
And don't forget to reach out to us if you want to pick up some gutted merch.
Yep. I only have a couple tank tops left because I only ordered 5.
We have several colors available. You can check out what we have in stock on our Instagram page.
Hope you like red, maroon, black, and that's it. Gray.
So that concludes our spooky prep part 1 for our 2025 for the first part of October. If you like what you've heard, please subscribe, like, and or give us a rating. Send us a message, send us an email. Contact us, drop us an emoji, all of those things. Let us know what you think of the upcoming horror movies.
Yep. Do what you want. Thank you for watching and or listening. This has been another episode of
Gutted.